Fred Mangol, Captain, U.S. Navy, retired. And then, of course, we no sooner got back than we had Pueblo on our hands. And then the next year we had EC-121. And like I said to you, we were stunned with how capable the North Koreans were in their defenses. And we were also stunned that LBJ told the world how we knew that North Korea knew that the EC-121 was outside of, international waters. That was terrible that he gave up that intelligence. But LBJ ran his own world, he didn't listen to anybody. So it was an interesting 2 years at 7th Fleet, very interesting. I saw a lot of the world in those 2 years. It was a very interesting time, and I worked for some very, very good naval officers, and certainly Joe Cottespati was a great Marine. I enjoyed working for him. I worked for first for Johnny Highland, who I thought was one of the finest naval officers I ever worked for, Admiral Highland, and then for Peoples. I mean, both of them really super people. One was a heavy cruiser, the other was a light cruiser. Providence was light, Okie City was heavy, and it was funny, as the war went on, of course, we had to beef up the staff. And the way they did that was there wasn't enough room, for everybody. So they took the regular desks out and put in Japanese desks, which were about a third the size of an American desk, right? And that's how they made room for the staff. Kind of neat, really, when you think about it. And since we were in Japan, it was easy to find the desks, right? And but we were just guest support, And our job was to run the fleet, not run the ships. Oh, I had one bad experience, which was on the, what was that, on the Providence or on the Okie City? I can't remember which one, but we were in the briefing in the morning, and all of a sudden we were right off. Both ships, by the way, provided shore bombardment while we were there off at Da Nang. And we were sitting there in the brief, and all of a sudden the ship took this deep lurch to the right and then settled back. And everybody went, boy, that was quite a wave. And I said, bullshit, that's not a wave. We just ran aground. And everybody went, yeah. A couple of the black shoes that knew what they were doing said, yeah, that's, sure enough, we'd run aground. And so we tried to get off on our own, that didn't work. And then we eventually got a tugboat to come and help us, seagoing tugboat. And we got off, okay. And then a couple hours later, I got a call from the chief of staff, and he said, Fred, I want you to run the investigation of the grounding, And I went, oh God, come on, Captain, couldn't you pick somebody else? I don't want that job. I know the navigator real well, and I really don't want that job. He said, yeah, that's why I want you to have that job. And you know this coast better than anybody else. I said, well, that's true. And so I found the problem. They hadn't been keeping their charts up. And cost the navigator his job and head out. And what can you say, right? Anyway, that's life in the big city. That's the one thing about the Navy, is that they do hold people responsible, okay? And that's one of the things that I didn't like about the Rickover years and the inspections years coming out of Vietnam, is that we were really socking it to everybody up through captain of a ship. What we were doing is we're holding everybody responsible and literally relieving them for cause if they made mistakes up through captain. But we weren't holding the people responsible that held the resource that made it possible to fix the ships that were senior to them responsible. And I made that clear once I got to the Pentagon.